most people have no idea what a really good franchise is. And what it is it's a license to print money. And that's the best way I can put it, because if you want to work for yourself, you've got to come up with an idea. Good luck with that. And then you've got to spend enough time and effort and money to work out what's the best ways to make money in the shortest amount of time, the most efficient way. And most people don't make it. And that's such a big point, because if you imagine the amount of time you're going to spend just thinking of an idea that works, and the other thing on top of that is, say you do find an idea that works, and I've actually done this. So you do find an idea that works. This was years ago I did this. And then, because I'd run businesses before, quite quickly became into profit. That was okay. But you know, the one thing I never factored into it, well, there was two things actually I didn't factor into this particular business. And one was the time spent getting from one customer to another. I didn't really understand that. And the other thing I didn't understand was, it wasn't until I did it that I realised I didn't like doing it. So, yes, it was successful, but you don't want to be in that situation. So, if you came to us, it's really my job and our job to find out if it's going to suit you now and 5, 10, 15, or however many years into the future, isn't it? Because nobody, me included, wants to work with anyone else who doesn't want to be there. So one of the things that we've spent a lot of time doing is working out who is best suited to a franchise like this. Because what's the point selling a franchise to someone who we know isn't going to want to do it in quite a short space of period, and that's just pointless, really. So, and the other thing is I didn't realise until I started working on our franchise structure that a lot of franchises out there are not actually based on anything solid. And what I mean by that specifically is, in the years that we've been doing this, we've gone through various different cycles of sizes that we've done. So I first started doing this part-time, and very interestingly, I managed to persuade a lady who was very successful at it to help me do it. There were other franchises available at the time, but they just did not offer what I wanted at all. So yeah, so I did it part-time, and I did it part-time for quite a while. And a byproduct of it that I never thought would happen, very naively didn't think would happen, but it was good, was once you start showing up at somebody's address on a regular basis and you do a job above what they think is going to happen. So I was turning up when I said I would regularly, and also doing a job that I just thought myself was normal. But I soon realised that to other people it was a very good job. And it was really that point where I went full time. So I went to part-time doing it on my own to full-time doing it on my own. And then at that point, I started adding people. And during the whole process, I kept looking for equipment. And I didn't realise that on a constant rolling basis, I was reinvesting back in all the time without really understanding that process. But I was basically to improve efficiency and the customer experience, really. But I didn't realise, again, going into the franchise structure, is there are so many franchises out there that aren't based on a solid working business. It's possibly a solid working business idea, but it has not been successful for definitely, I would say, a length of time that you could pretty much prove that you've weathered a hell of a lot of the storms that are out there. And with us coming up to the 18th year now, we have been through a few different things, and are now, because I'm literally sitting here doing this video whilst I am waiting for the bin men to finish a street, because the Christmas period, I can hear them, they're coming. You can see the flashing lights there, and you'll hear them in a bit. So I'm waiting for them now. They're just coming past now. Hopefully I left them enough room. Yeah, just. Yeah, they're here. And anyway, so this is an aftermath of Christmas and bad weather that we had last week. And these kinds of things are fairly regular occurrences where you can have these changes. So you do have to be very experienced to know all the things that might trip you up. So yes, you might have a good business concept, and there might be franchises out there that have a good idea, but if they haven't weathered the storms, how do you know it's not a gimmick, and loads of different parts to it like that. But yes, so really with a franchise, a lot of people will say, why would I give you money when I can go and do something on my own, because bin cleaning is dead simple? Well, number one, people don't have business experience. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. People just magically think they can run a business. No, they can't. And on top of that, you are given a package that's just a recipe for success. And it is really that simple, because if you work hard enough at what we show you and what we give you and with us, you will succeed. It's that simple. So if you think of starting something on your own and you think, well, I don't have to pay you this and I don't have to pay you that. Well, how much would you pay for a money-making machine? And to be quite realistic about this, you would pay what it is worth. So if you could, say, earn in your back pocket, or sorry, before tax, let's keep it very easy, 50 grand a year, 60 grand a year, but it cost you half of that to buy the idea and the equipment, and then it cost you, I don't know, let's say 5% of that every year. Is that worth it? And the fact is that within 12 to 18 months from a good franchise, that's the level you're working at. That could take, well, you might never do it, but that could take 10, 15, 20 years. It could do that. It really could. So don't just dismiss franchises, whatever industry you go for. Find out why, amongst experienced, serious business people, they are considered realistically a money printing machine.